How did it start? Yeah.
So that what you guys just watched, that was actually it's what we call a sizzle reel. That's where we shot 7.
It's not every day a husband ends up interviewing his wife's rumored love interest on screen, an unusual and slightly surreal situation that already feels like something out of a script. But beyond that oddity, a much bigger story has been unfolding, one that has quickly turned into a storm of rumors, speculation, and controversy. Whispers have been spreading across Hollywood about a potentially explosive situation involving Ryan Reynolds and Justin Baldoni, according to an alleged whistleblower. A secret phone call has surfaced that supposedly links Reynolds to a plan aimed at putting Baldoni in a difficult legal position. While none of this has been confirmed, the claim suggests behind-the-scenes maneuvering that could have serious consequences if proven true. Sources claim the call contains discussions of legal strategies and calculated moves, raising the question of what could have triggered such a conflict. Some believe it may be tied to professional disagreements over major film projects, while others suspect personal tensions may be involved. Entertainment law experts have pointed out that if any recording is authenticated, it could lead to a highly public and messy legal battle. So far, the full details of the alleged call haven't been released. Baldoni's team has remained silent, and Reynolds hasn't publicly responded, which has only fueled more curiosity and speculation online. As the story spreads, some theories have taken an even more dramatic turn, suggesting the possibility of a wider network of industry figures being involved, though there's no solid evidence to support those claims. Adding to the intrigue, an anonymous social media account claiming insider knowledge has hinted that the full recording might soon be released. If that happens, it could dramatically shift public perception and potentially become one of the most talked about celebrity controversies in recent memory. At the center of it all is a key question: why Baldoni? Some speculate it could be connected to control over a major project, while others think it may stem from a personal fallout that escalated beyond repair. Public reaction has been divided. Some fans strongly defend Reynolds, while others argue that fame and influence can sometimes reveal a more calculating side. Legal observers are watching closely, warning that the situation could spiral into something damaging for everyone involved if the allegations gain traction. For a time, Baldoni stayed quiet, maintaining a low profile as the rumors intensified, but eventually, he responded with what supporters describe as strong evidence countering claims made by Blake Lively, which quickly shifted public opinion in his favor. Meanwhile, Lively faced increasing criticism, particularly from those who believed she had tried to block Baldoni from a project he deeply cared about. As tensions rose, Reynolds attempted to lighten the mood during the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary special with a joke, but it didn't land well. Many viewers felt it was out of touch given the seriousness of the situation, and some even began questioning his judgment. With emotions running high and the story still developing, what started as rumors has now become a full-blown controversy, one that could have lasting effects depending on what, if anything, is proven true. Did he know what Blake Lively was doing behind the scenes, or did he simply choose to ignore it? That question quickly became central to the growing controversy, as speculation spread about how much Ryan Reynolds may have been aware of while events unfolded. At the same time, rumors began circulating that Hollywood insiders were quietly distancing themselves from the couple, reluctant to get pulled into an increasingly messy situation. In an industry known for protecting its image, being associated with controversy can carry real consequences, and Blake's name was suddenly being framed as a potential liability. Reports suggested that studios were becoming hesitant to support someone perceived as capable of disrupting a production or turning it into a public relations issue, while some directors were said to be avoiding collaboration altogether out of concern for on-set tension. Even individuals who had previously supported her appeared to step back, wary that their own reputations could be affected, and longtime industry connections allegedly grew distant as the fallout intensified. At the same time, her public image began to shift dramatically. Reports claimed she lost a significant number of social media followers, while support for Justin Baldoni appeared to grow, highlighting a clear change in public sentiment. Critics argued that Blake had attempted to position herself as an advocate for women's rights, but many began to question whether those efforts were genuine or strategically used to strengthen her own narrative, as her accusations against Justin were scrutinized and seen by some as lacking strong evidence. Skepticism grew, and social media users who once supported her started to turn away. Media coverage, including reports from The Hollywood Reporter, added to the narrative that Blake may not have been a victim of unfair treatment, but rather someone attempting to leverage her influence within the industry to gain control over a project and shape public perception in her favor. The controversy deepened further as legal questions entered the picture. Allegations surfaced, suggesting that key messages may have been altered or withheld, while Justin's team reportedly maintained consistent records that highlighted discrepancies. This led to growing speculation that parts of the story may have been exaggerated or misrepresented, fueling comparisons to other high-profile celebrity disputes like the Depp v. Heard defamation trial. As those comparisons spread online, They amplified public debate and drew even more attention to the situation. Meanwhile, many celebrities chose to remain silent, and those who had initially shown support appeared to pull back as the narrative became more complicated. Online discussions intensified, with commentary channels and social media users analyzing every detail and often portraying Blake in an increasingly negative light, reflecting the frustration of audiences who felt misled. Throughout all of this, Justin Baldoni maintained a notably calm and measured approach, avoiding public confrontation and allowing his legal team to respond instead. His composure earned him support from many observers, who saw his restraint as a contrast to the escalating accusations. In comparison, Ryan Reynolds' attempts to ease tension with humor were widely seen as poorly timed, with audiences feeling that the situation was too serious for jokes. Instead of helping, those moments appeared to further damage public perception, with some insiders reportedly concerned that the controversy could begin to affect his professional relationships as well. As the situation continued to unfold, it became clear that Blake Lively was facing one of the most significant backlashes of her career. Once admired for her charm, relatability, and polished public image, she now found herself at the center of intense criticism. Before the controversy, she had been widely seen as one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, celebrated for her fashion, her public persona, and her relationship with Reynolds. But reports about her alleged behavior during the production of It Ends With Us marked a turning point. According to various claims, she may have exerted an unusual level of control on set, pushing for script changes, challenging directorial decisions, and creating an environment that some described as difficult to navigate. The situation escalated even further following a widely discussed cover from The Hollywood Reporter, which many interpreted as symbolic of deeper behind-the-scenes conflict. Public reaction intensified rapidly, and Blake's responses, seen by some as dismissive, were met with criticism rather than sympathy. Observers pointed out inconsistencies in her statements, questioning how her version of events aligned with reports of her strong influence over the project. As doubts grew, more people began to reassess their support, and her attempts to regain control of the narrative appeared to fall short. One particularly noticeable moment was the silence of Taylor Swift, known for publicly supporting her friends. Her lack of response did not go unnoticed, and many interpreted it as a sign of how sensitive and risky the situation had become. To fans, that silence spoke volumes, reinforcing the idea that the controversy had reached a level where even close allies were hesitant to get involved. Altogether, what began as behind-the-scenes tension had evolved into a major public fallout, reshaping reputations and leaving lasting questions about what really happened. Fans are now questioning whether Blake Lively can recover from what is becoming one of Hollywood's most talked about downfalls. While some still believe redemption is possible if she openly acknowledges mistakes, takes responsibility, and offers a sincere apologies, there's little indication of that happening so far. Instead, critics say she has continued to deflect blame, pointing toward the backlash itself and toward Justin Baldoni, a strategy that appears to be worsening public perception. As a result, more fans and observers are beginning to view her as untrustworthy. With accusations of manipulation gaining traction across social media and entertainment circles, the controversy has also sparked a broader conversation about the misuse of social movements, particularly #MeToo. Many people have expressed frustration at the idea that such a serious and meaningful cause could be used for personal advantage. Critics argue that if these allegations are true, they risk undermining the credibility of real victims, making it harder for genuine voices to be heard. This perception has further damaged Blake's reputation, shifting her image from admired public figure to a highly polarizing presence in the industry. In contrast, Justin Baldoni's reputation appears to be strengthening. Despite rumors that he was nearly pushed aside during the promotion of his own film, he remained composed, choosing to present his perspective calmly and professionally. That approach has earned him widespread respect from both fans and industry insiders, many of whom see him as someone who handles pressure with integrity. There's growing belief that this moment could positively impact his career, positioning him as a reliable and grounded figure that studios and directors may be more inclined to trust moving forward. Meanwhile, Blake's professional outlook seems increasingly uncertain. Reports suggest that producers are becoming cautious, hesitant to work with someone who could bring controversy or attempt to exert excessive control over creative decisions. Opportunities that once came easily may now be delayed or quietly withdrawn. For many fans, the contrast is striking. They remember the charismatic, relatable star they once admired, and now struggle to reconcile that image with the allegations being discussed. At the heart of the backlash is a sense of disappointment. Blake once appeared to have everything: a successful career, strong public support, and a carefully crafted image of charm and authenticity. But this situation has disrupted that narrative, revealing a version of events that some believe contradicts her public persona. In Hollywood, where reputation is everything, losing public trust at this scale can be incredibly difficult to recover from, especially as new claims and discussions continue to surface. Even Ryan Reynolds has not been immune to the fallout. Known for his humor and approachable personality, His decision to stand by Blake while occasionally joking about the situation has drawn mixed reactions. Some fans feel his tone has been out of sync with the seriousness of the controversy, leading to questions about his judgment and authenticity. In an industry where perception can shape careers, this association could carry risks for him as well. As the situation continues to unfold, it has become a cautionary tale about the fragility of fame and the consequences of public perception. Blake's once positive image has been significantly shaken, her social media presence reflecting a noticeable shift from admiration to criticism. At the same time, Justin Baldoni is increasingly being praised for maintaining composure and professionalism, highlighting a stark contrast between the two figures at the center of the controversy. Ultimately, the public is left watching closely to see what happens next. Blake's future may depend on whether she can rebuild trust and address the concerns surrounding her. While Justin's trajectory appears to be on the rise, the situation underscores how quickly narratives can change in Hollywood and how difficult it can be to regain credibility once it's lost. What was once a story of success and influence has now become a powerful reminder of how perception, power, and accountability can shape and sometimes redefine a career. The controversy continued to intensify as more claims and interpretations surfaced, many of them painting a deeply negative picture of Blake Lively's alleged behavior behind the scenes. Some accounts, attributed to supporters of Justin